Are you ready to install this 4-hour timer with me? Let's do it. Now we also know where the stud is here, right? I already probed for this on the side, and I could also take my stud finder and I could check that over here too. See, there's nothing there. Here's where it starts, and it's hard to catch this back one because they're right up close to the wall. So I'm fairly confident, 99.9%, there's nothing right there. All right? And I probed my nail in there, and I poked the nail in pretty far, so if there was a stud, it should be right next to this, okay? Now granted, maybe there was another stud in here that was right here, and they nailed this box over against that stud. But usually, once you find a stud, that tells you there's another one further away. Now, it's not always 16 inches apart, so don't make the assumption, because if you got a wall going the other direction on the other side of this wall or something like that, maybe there's some extra studs in there for sheetrock backing and that kind of stuff. So that's why you always have to run a stud finder and check it. That's a good way of checking it, you know, because we're making some deductions here without poking any holes in the walls. That's what we're doing right now. This is an important step to your project, so I don't want you falling asleep here. Okay, now chances are where this air conditioner is, there's a 2x4 that goes across here, and it's probably higher than where this box is. I don't think there's any blocks going across here, but if I want to check that, I can take my stud finder and I can take it flat and go up this way. See? There's nothing there. That tells me there's no blocks in there. If I had this down further for a fire block or something like that, you can test and you can check and see where a fire block is in the wall, depending where you're going with your plugs. If you're putting a cut-in light switch in, let's say, something like that. This is higher than a light switch location, and we're fairly close to each other, so you know, we're probably not going to hit anything like that. So now I've got to make some decisions, don't I? Now I'd like to talk about my project a little bit, explain to you what I'm doing, why I'm doing things, and I like to be thorough, and I think you'll find that lots of my videos do that, and I hope you appreciate that, because I'm doing this for you, not so I can hear myself talk. And plus, when I'm talking about something and you're listening like that, maybe it catches something else that you're thinking about for your project. If your project doesn't match this exact scenario, maybe you'll catch something that I'm explaining, that you understand the concept of what I'm doing here, so that on your project you understand all that. Oh yeah, Joe said blah blah blah, and you'll remember bits and pieces of different things I have to say. Okay, so even if this doesn't pertain to you exactly, listen up, because you'll learn that way as well. Okay, now we got to figure out what to do with this box. Okay, we know there's a stud right there in the middle, so there's no way I want to cut right in there, do I? And we know there's some studs over here. Okay, now do I have an option of putting this timer over here? Because remember I said I wanted it as far to the right as I could. You might say, well, wait a second, Joe. If you put that over there and the stud's over here, how on earth are you going to get a wire over this box? Because think about it. We got the power coming in right here. Wherever I put this box, I put this box here, there, over here, wherever I put this box, I'm going to use this outlet right here as a junction box now. I have to run a little piece of wire from here over to the location of this box. Does that make sense? I'm going to hook this together with another set of wires, bring them out here. That's going to be my power in to here. Now I'm going to hook that to the timer. Then we got power coming out of the timer back over to this location here for the actual plug. So the plug is not going to be hooked up to any of these wires per se. Okay, the ground will be, but just kind of follow this right now, okay? So wherever I put this, I've got to get power over there. So if you say, yeah, there's a stud here. If I put my box over here, how am I going to get my wire over here because this stud's in the way? Are you thinking about that? What can we do about that?